Good morning, MCL here with market futures. We're about 12 minutes to the market open and things look mixed. The Dow, as just like yesterday, is roaring up 342 points as of now. S&P also is up 27 points. The Dow's up almost 1.5%, S&P almost 1%, but the Nasdaq is actually negative. And it's interesting that also yesterday the Nasdaq really gave it up much more than the other sectors. Oil is down, which is a negative divergence. 10-year Treasury is up. Copper is down pretty hard. Copper is down over almost 1% and 1.20, 1% and 1.20. So, kind of a mixed signals in the indicators, but we're in a bullish trend. There's a lot of reason to stay in the market, so we're just holding. I'd like to just say one point. I find that holiday weekends, like what we had this past week that we started on Tuesday, the markets often have very out of the box kind of behavior, either very bullish or very bearish. So far, the market's been overall very bullish. Yesterday, Dow was up about 400 points, 500 points, 500. Now it's up almost 400. So we don't know how the day is going to play out, but it's interesting. We often break through levels either up or down on holiday. I find that's what my own theory is, that I find after many years that holiday weekends, these short weeks starting on Tuesday, often kind of change the game a little bit, at least short term. So far the market's on a tear, but the Nasdaq is more cautious. I'm shorting the volatility, which is the futures are down almost 3%. So I'm very happy, but there's something a little spooky about it. I like to count the days that we're up, and by the third day, not buy or sell usually. Maybe sell a little, usually not buy. So it's a third day that the volatility is down, which means the market is up about 3 days. However, 2 days ago, the Dow was ended down while the other sectors were up. Yesterday, so with the S&P is up 3 days in a row, Dow is up 2 days, the Nasdaq is up 3 days, but the ETF actually ended negative or flat yesterday, which sort of dampens the 3 day in a row for the Nasdaq. So we're sort of like, I would just say there's like the perfect holding situation. Although if you like to trade, you just might get a trade today. If the market goes kind of higher and then gives it up a little bit, then goes back. Yesterday the market pretty much closed near the lower part of its day. The volatility closed near the higher part of the day. Today might be the reverse. We might look like we're going to close that way, and then the volatility could all of a sudden drop. The market could shoot even higher. We don't know for sure. We know the market is never the same, almost never the same from one day to the next. But we're in a bull market, so we have to stay bullish. Like I said many times, we're trying to stick this thing out as much as possible. I don't think it's just going to end all of a sudden. It's probably going to go for at least 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks, something like that. We're right now in about the 8th week, give or take. Depends where you're exactly counting this big bull run. I'm counting from April 6th. It was a Monday when the market went up 1,700 points and pretty much reversed all the negativity. So that's only about 8 weeks since then. So we have more time according to the general way of looking at the markets. So right now I'm holding, possibly maybe I'll trade a little bit, but really the bull markets. There's really not much more to say. Just we have to keep an eye on the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq is negative when the markets in general are positive, and that's a little bit disturbing, and that could affect the markets overall. So we have to see what's going to win: the Dow and S&P positive energy, or the Nasdaq's negative energy, and keep an eye on the internals that keep sort of changing. Oil today is up a decent amount. I'm sorry, oil is down a decent amount, which is something to think about. But oil's been on a tear. Oil's been up since negative 50 to up 35. So it's up insane. So we don't mind pullbacks, small pullbacks, as long as the market stays intact. So right now we're staying bullish, and we're just keeping an eye on things one day at a time. This week, like I said, is a very interesting outside of the box kind of week. Usually, so far it's been on the bullish side with the market. So let's just stick to the trend, but be smart and see if something happens out of the ordinary that we have to maybe take some money off the table and kind of wait a few days, or maybe just hold and get the rewards for holding. So let's keep an eye on this, and God's help will be successful.